So, do you want to see two brilliant rook moves in a row? Then you have come to the right video because here we are about to learn how to deliver stunning tactics, learn something new from the opening, and to not blunder in the middle game. So let's get to it. We have the moves on the board. Ouch, I forgot to actually fix this. Now, knight c3 is our first move. This is a very unusual opening because it's usually e4. It's like usually pawns. So knight c3. It's named after Van Geet, the Dutch international master, FIDE master. There are multiple titles in chess. You can get them by getting a certain elo point and playing better than the others. You don't have to know that. You're now there. So e5, e4. Maybe you are there. Maybe you are. Maybe you are Magnus Carlsen watching this. Well, hello, Magnus. So knight f6. Here we come to an opening which is Vienna Gambit. We are giving away this pawn because we are pushing this knight back. If it goes forward, it is captured. We play d4, and now we try to win this pawn, and it is Kuchimochi. But unless if g5 is played, I recommend queen h5 here, and as you can see, it is very active. But our opponent plays knight c6, and it is already a losing mistake. According to the computer, you are running the knight to the center, you play d4, knight goes back, e5, knight goes back, knight goes forwards. You have developed significant amount of pieces, so you must be winning better, much better. But instead, I play knight f3. For some reason, I don't realize that. d6, bishop c4, bishop g4. People are developing pieces. Nothing very unusual is happening here. This pawn is up for grabs because of d4. Castles. Our opponent also tries to castle, so he does that. I tried to move the bishop to capture, and now we are lining up a big attack towards this. Our opponent plays knight d4, trying to get a little bit of a forky fork here with knight takes c2. We could play queen d3 or queen d1, but I am going for some spicy moves towards the E diagonal and the G file. So we go queen g3, our opponent castle, which is the best move. And now I make a big mistake. I, as a 1600, should be able to see that after takes, you cannot take this pawn. You cannot take this pawn, not because of knight takes c2, but because of knight to c6, backwards knight move, threatening to win the bishop. I'm in big trouble. I realized that. I realized that. I'm going to lose a piece here. So I try to go for this goofy line where my queen is being hunted, my bishop and queen are being forked, and I have to give away my knight. I give away my knight for 2 pawns at least. 2 pawns at least. Now our opponent plays knight d4. We centralize the queen. It looks pretty okay. It looks pretty okay. We are not down any points of material according to this the game. We have 3 pawns for a piece, but it is losing because our bishop is not developed. Our rooks are standing here. Our rook is standing here, and his rook is very active. Piece is active, so he has to be winning here. Takes a pawn, rook b1, but he makes a mistake. He plays queen d4 check, and now my king is not even in danger anymore. Because you see, in here, bishop d6 covers the dark squares. Rook could come to a4, attack everything. e4 is undefended. But now I have a chance. And I start by pushing the b pawn, developing the bishop to b2 towards the king. And our opponent just makes a big mistake. He puts 2 knights on the same file, but the rook can also attack pieces on the same file, and that's How I win back his piece. Wow. And now I win back the piece. Rook d8, defense the knight. Gotta develop a piece. Now I attack the bishop with tempo. Bishop f6. There is a beautiful move with bishop g5. And at that point, my best move and only move is to play bishop takes f7, rook takes f7, rook takes f7, king takes f7, bishop g5, and it's equal. I'm up a pawn. What? No, bishop d2 between move. Then rook e to e7. Yeah, I'm done. None of this, none of this. But our opponent goes for the quiet bishop f6. This is very good. I play a4, utilize your queenside pawns, going to make a queen in the future. Our opponent plays knight c2. Of course, our opponent is going for aggressive moves. It's a move down my board. Knight c2, and I have to defend my bishop. I do. He goes for it again. Now I go for rook e to f2. He goes back. Very aggressive moves here. Now, the point here is as follows. Bishop d4 is threatened. It could win a rook for bishop. So, I move my rook to e2. But computer says, sack the rook. Give away. And now you get either this or this. Well, I wasn't that convinced. I play rook e2. He plays bishop g5. Bishop g5 looks like a pretty good move. Well, isn't the rook going back to f2 to guard the bishop? You see it's now guarded twice. Or what? What do you mean? What? Well, it is a good move. But I look for checks and captures. And I spy with my eyes a little move that is brilliant. Can you see it? It is. Rook takes f7. Woo! Rook takes f7, sacrifices the rook, leaves the bishops to see each other. The bishop could be taken on d2. Right. Could it? Then. Yeah, it could be taken. But what if rook takes f7? Then you take the bishop. You see the bishops see each other. Well, what if I take the rook on d2? Then I move the rook down. And now it's a check. Rook has to block or king has to move. It's dead. Rook f8, rook e8 is checkmate. There are many pins, many pins. Rook cannot take on d2. Rook cannot take on f7. As you see, so many pieces are hanging. So what do you play here? Well, black played bishop takes d2. And here, I spy with my eyes the second brilliant move. And it is rook takes d2. Rook takes d2. Rook takes f7, takes a pawn, loses the rook. Rook takes d2, loses an entire rook. Wow. So rook takes d2. And now I play. Rook f2 check. King is forced to move to h8. No, it is not. It's not even that. It is not. Rook f8 is checkmate. Rook f7, bishop takes f7, king h8, rook takes d2, knight is hanging, checkmate is being threatened. It's all over. That is the best tactical sequence I've ever played. I sacrificed 2 rooks in a row. It is unfathomable. The whole black army got assimilated. Rook takes d2. I take the pieces. Knight is hanging. Rook is threatened. Rook is targeted. Rooks are seeing each other. Rooks are seeing each other. It's insane, and I'm still winning. King is still stuck here. Takes on d2. If he takes on f7, it's mate in one. If knight a3, knight a3 is a tricky move. Then there will be take. Oh my god, there will be take. Oh my god, that's crazy. That's bad. That's bad news, bro. You got some issues here. You should not have played bishop g5 here. You should have Seen rook takes f7. You should have seen it. That's how insane chess is. You should have seen it. What's the best move here? It's h5. What? It is h5. God damn computers. What if you develop the rook here? Well, then there is rook takes e8, rook takes e8, and there is. God damn it! It is to lose the entire bishop to then take on f7, king f8, take, and then attack two pieces. That is insane. After knight d4, you cannot even take the bishop because of fork. That's stupid. So you play king f1. What? Bishop b2. Rook takes c7. That's stupid as hell. That's stupid. You cannot tell me that. You cannot do a lot of stuff here. You cannot. So knight d4 back would have been probably a good move, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Knight c6 best move. This is insane. That's insane. Well, let's look through it again. Rook takes f7, giving away the rook. Oh yeah, bishop d2 allowed us to get a second brilliant move with rook takes d2. If knight takes b4, there was, oh my god, there are so many disgusting moves. If king h8, there is takes on f8 and take. That's crazy. Absolutely no defense. And ladies and gentlemen, here our opponent, instead of resigning, gave us the checkmate in one. Like an entire game was a roller coaster. We could have won on the move number 3, and then we didn't. We could have won on move number 3, got a big advantage. We didn't. Instead, we got a boring game, which then came up to me making a big mistake, losing a knight for 2 pawns, knight d4. Our opponent should not have traded queens, and he definitely made the fatal mistake of taking this pawn because that equalized the game. Rook d8. We got some big advantages here, and I mean, I just found the big explosions, big explosive moves like rook f7 and rook takes d2. That's absolutely insane. I assimilated every piece he had. Torture. So that is how I got my two brilliant moves in a daily game. I came back after a big mishap in the middle game, but the end game got me to sacrifice two rooks in a middle game. Sorry, in an end game where no queens were on the board, just in the end game. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something here. I don't think you learned something here. You just admired the two rook sacrifices, the big tactinos you have here. Big tactinos. Always do your puzzles and see you guys later. I thank you and we'll see you. Peace.